the ability not to see is the ability of, not the ability, but the your basically what you did is you lost your capability of processing light. So the simplest way to think about it, the further a bright object is, the more like luminescent they look, the more they come out, right? Imagine it kind of like see how we draw stars that has like lines? Imagine all those lines that you see around a light. That's usually what we see when we see a light. And what happens on the long run is that people don't stop using that skill, right? So, because it's a skill. Seeing is a skill. It takes practice. So people don't practice seeing anymore, right? So, for instance, people don't practice seeing from distance. People don't practice seeing from close, like really close, right? So it's all about practice, right? So people don't practice anymore, and everything we see now, we see close up, right? On our devices, and that's how our eyes have basically developed themselves to operate, right? So if you have eyes develop in a way that they can only see things from close and with a certain amount of light, like what they call blue light, what they use in our devices, right? If you can only see that color, and then that spectrum of light, and then that distance, all your other skills kind of die off. That's what happened. Basically, that's what happened to a lot of people now. And then since, again, information travels, right? DNA, right? So then when you have your kid, right, the possibility of your kid using glasses goes up a lot, right? Because now you're putting that DNA into your kid. So two blind people fucking have kids. What are the chances of the kid not having fucking glasses? I don't know. I think it's pretty slim. I might have to look that one up. But I think statistically it makes sense. If two blind people have a kid, your chances of your kid being blind is going to be blind. It's like if you have two midgets, your chances of your kid being grown like a normal person is not very high. Because you're putting more of something into that, right? But I might be wrong, right? But back to the light, it's like, imagine it like that, right? Now that's not, I think that's the perfect way to explain what vision loss is, right? Is your lack of ability to focus on a light frame, or a light wave, or a wave pattern. Because that's really what it is, what light is. It's a wave pattern. So it's your inability to process wave patterns of light, which include colors, shapes, symbols, and all this other stuff. People have lost that ability, like literally lost the skill. Which is insane. Like, it's a very useful skill. You would think, like, as a society, we'll be a little more focused on it. But we don't. We're what I call is a creature who knows the problem but decides to avoid it. I don't know what creature is that, but that's what humans are. We know problems are there. We know problems are present, but we choose to ignore them. We'd rather, I guess, right to mind is live in a blissful state of mind instead of facing the music, facing the actual problem. Nobody wants to face problems anymore. Like, nobody wants to directly face problems. Everything is just being avoided. Everything is being curbed. Everything is being left for tomorrow. And then what you end up finding on the long run is that tomorrow never fucking comes. Just never get it accomplished. You're just one of those people who've been like, oh, pero so-and-so, if si se enfocara más, había sido esto. It's like, nah, nigga, it has nothing to do with enfocarse, nigga. You just have no commitment. You have commitment issues. That's why people can't even commit to any kind of relationship, any really, like, realistically, any authentic thing that requires them to practice and enhance their skill. People would rather not do it because it's too hard. That's really always comes down to it. It's too much effort. It requires too much energy because instead of me putting energy into this, I'm going to put it into laying on a couch or laying on my bed and wasting my time watching other people live in multiple platforms, right? Including movies, TV shows, music, books, and then social media now, and it's like jobs and all this other. People literally now live through others. It's like a weird concept to me. Like, why would you want to live through somebody else's experience? Why wouldn't you want to experience your own thing? So again, it takes practice. It's a skill. That's what a skill is. You can't develop a skill unless you practice it. Nobody wants to practice anymore. So weird times we live in, man, and it's like, fuck, man, like it's, and then instead of like even practicing, like yo, like okay, you don't want to practice, man, do this. Try to do these two things for me, please. Right? Do A and do B. That's all I ask for. And even that, bro, is like, call you, man. Like, what the fuck does, why does it take so much, like, nowadays, to get a lot of people just to, like, do something? Like, do something simple. Like, yo, don't do this. And it's like, I won't do it. And it's like 2 days later, bam, viene y te lo hace. And it's like, my man, like, come on, bro. But then, again, if you say something, then you're the bad guy, because then you have to express yourself and understand that now you gotta be a fucking dick. Like, people have to be dicks now a lot of times for people to fucking understand them. Nobody wants to be a fucking dick. Who wants to walk around fucking being a dick? Like, such a negative fucking body. Like, yo, you're basically destroying yourself if you're walking like a dick. Like, literally killing yourself. That's what you're doing. And I don't know, man. Some people like that shit. I don't. I don't want to live a life like that. I already got enough fucking gray hair. I don't need any more. Like, it gets old, man. And it's like, then you go down this thing where you're like, the older you get, the more you start understanding why thinking is more important than speaking. Thinking is more important than speaking. Because now you understand that why some things don't require your energy. Some things don't require for you to give them an explanation. Because even if you explain it or if you don't, it doesn't matter. It's not going to change it. So why will you waste your breath? And then you start noticing why these things work the way they work, right? Because most people who are like thinkers, right? Talking from my experience, right? Some people who are thinkers tend to have things that require other people to think, right? So if you bring up a statement, it requires the other person to think. And again, it's a skill. They don't want to use the skill because they don't want to do that. It's just like, no, it's too hard. No, it's not the time for that. No, te meten toda la excusa. But then you start like, you don't express your thinking, and then eventually what you end up doing, like, then you end up being an asshole. Then you becoming a dick again. And then cycle fucking continues, right? And that's life right now. That's life right now. That is life right now. Now you just gotta think. Think, right? Think, right? Think, right? Think, right. We'll be alright.